Anak!
Huh. Igloo.
Yeah, and surprisingly warm. So like you go in the entrance, you actually go down.
Yeah.
Before you go back up again, and that little down part is like a cold trap. So you go up onto this snow bed inside the igloo, which has furs or whatever on top of it. And it's amazing how it'll be minus 30 outside, and if it's minus 15 inside, it feels super warm. You keep your jacket on and stuff, but it's so cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is there videos of this stuff?
Yeah, I on my site we did a funny video. We made a takeoff of Anturgerat, the fast runner. I'll send you the link where you can see this igloo village that they build every year, and then summertime people come up to enjoy the fishing and just going out in the Arctic Ocean. It's a photographer's dream because even now it's not even getting dark at night. The sun goes down, but it doesn't go down far enough to get dark. So like about midnight, 1 a.m. it's dusk. And then about 3:30, it starts getting light again. And it's only April, It's so.
Okay, who do you work with again?
So in 2006, I came up here to the Nouveau Communication Society in Nunavik to help sort of upgrade their system to high definition.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-month contract in 2006, and it just turned out to be the most amazing next stage of my life. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you're still shooting documentaries all the time?
It's pretty much doc style. Up until recently. So working with Desiré, who's got this great idea called Northwest Terror Stories, 13 half hours based on Inuit legends and lore. Scary as F. So it's going to be fun for the kids, and it's a nice break from the doc style because the downside of docs is, of course, you shoot for hours and hours and hours, and then you watch it for hours and hours and hours, and you don't necessarily know where it's going, and that's part of the magic. But it just takes hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Script it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I guess you actually have is there a script and stuff to it?
Yeah, so it's like scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. We just shoot them in a row, so it's a lot easier that way.
Okay, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. Oh, I'm cutting my face off. There you go. The movie. There we go. It makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to you. It's totally fine. So you didn't get COVID-19?
So we've had a couple cases since it first happened. Actually, it was perfect timing for my girlfriend and I fell really ill the first week when we basically shut this office down and everyone went home. And I thought, perfect, because like even just a regular cold, which it turned out to be, is so debilitating. I get sick once a year, and I can't even talk to anyone. I just need to be alone,
Yeah.
And I was thinking they're just thankful it wasn't COVID because I'm 52, 53, something like that. Like it's getting up there, and it's something I don't want to have to deal with. And then I was supposed to go to Ontario. My dad had double bypass.
Oh.
And then, as the date's approaching for my travel, like the numbers are starting to pick up, and I get on the phone to my dad. I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable traveling. And he's like, I'm so glad you called. I don't want you coming here.
That's wow.
We had the procedure. It was all successful. And then like 2 weeks later, the hospital he was in, they're having all this outbreak in that hospital. Dum, dum, dum. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, did you feel that it was like something like that? Because this is what I'm.
So yeah,
like
even December, or January, you're seeing this small little story come out of China, but we've been through this before, and you can't stop a viral outbreak. Like it doesn't respect borders or wealth or anything.
Yeah.
And so even then, I was thinking it's going to come here eventually. It might be like SARS. It might be a small thing, but regardless, it's going to come here. Sure enough, it did.
Yeah.
We had I guess it was a returning teacher or whatever. They've since been in quarantine and now they're healthy. But yeah,
something in my mind. I guess I kind of feel like somehow I feel like a lot of people have had it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotten through it and didn't realize they had it.
It's such a spectrum, right? Like you can even be a carrier and not having any symptoms, which is really terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but I know I was sick. When was I sick?
Wasn't it around the same time, or was it just after I was sick? Because I remember telling you I was sick.
And I was sick previous to that.
Okay, yeah.
But it was a weird kind of sickness. Like I felt like I was definitely breathing. Like my breathing was restricted.
Yeah.
And I was like for 2 or 3 days, I was just like flat on my ass. I didn't know what was going on, and then I was fine, and I was fine right after that. And I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. It was just a weird kind of fever flu, but it definitely felt like something. And I think a lot of people had that.
My girlfriend was just coughing, like her chest sounded horrible, and then we heard that whooping cough was going around. So maybe she got whooping cough. We don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's another one too, right? Are you susceptible to whooping cough if you had it as a kid?
No, that's a good question. I don't know. All these questions that things like this bring up, and just realize how fragile we are.
Yeah, that's right. How's pup?
Awesome. Honeyberry is the best husky. You know, I grew up knowing huskies exist, but never understood that they have these wonderful, loving personalities. I always saw them as working dogs.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's such a pleasure to be around. She gets us out twice a day, and like because of her, I can probably eat almost anything I want.
You still look the same.
Yeah. Well, food's expensive up here.
That's funny.
Tropicana, $12.
What's that?
Tropicana, $12, or is it 10? No, yeah. Oh man, you must be rich.
Exactly right. No, that was $3.99.
Yeah,
at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I was like, I really want some orange juice. I'm gonna splurge.
Well, the downside to being up here where, we had 2 cases now, in theory we don't, is like I'm finding that I'm getting complacent. Like I went to the store for some peanut butter cups yesterday. Like, come on.
Like that was the risk you took, right?
You're not going to get some milk?
There's actually a lot of wildlife coming into the cities too here.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of, I haven't seen too much. I've seen, I think I saw a deer.
Yeah.
But then again, I could have been hallucinating. But I for sure saw a couple of raccoons just running across. Not that that's an unusual sighting, but it was just a weird time of day. Like, like it wasn't like in the middle of the stark night. It was in the middle of like 4 or 5 o'clock, where you'd think they're not going to be seen. Usually, you won't see a raccoon around that time. You know what I mean? Or you'll see them going through the garbages maybe once in a while.
Yeah.
But he was just strolling across, where was it? Vetter or something like that. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. Because there's just not enough people around to scare them off, right? So
it's amazing how much wildlife there is around. Like it was back in the late 90s or whatever. I was cycling in the west end of Vancouver. I was coming home from a friend's party. Let's say it's 2 or 3 in the morning on the weekend. Yeah. And these 2 police cruisers going down the alley really slow, like opposite alleys. And I'm like, oh, I got to check this out. This is going to be good. Yeah. And I swing around the corner, and they're slowly guiding these deer back into the Stanley Park. I was like, wow, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we're surrounded by nature.
Yeah.
It must be good for them, and the air quality is different.
Yeah. Those pictures of the Himalayas from Kathmandu, or I'm probably getting my geography, or the Himalayas from a certain town in India where like no one's seen the Himalayas, and they're like, holy, look at that. It's like,
yeah, they exist.
चमत्कारी है.
Like this is perfect timing for you to interview me because we shot a documentary on the ice road in 2017, and it did its little festival circuit here and there, and cable company and stuff. But now it's completely public on Facebook. It's on my page. It's called End of the Ice Age.
Okay.
And it was all like a lot of the stuff we do up here is for Northerners, but this is one of those things that speaks to people. It will let people in the South know what life is like up here. It might even encourage them to come up here when this is all over, because there's a road all the way to Tuktoyaktuk now, and this documentary is about that. And it's a lot of the interesting, beautiful characters that make the North so special that are in this film. And it's 24 minutes long. It's short and it's sweet.
To me, the ice road is always a special time of the year.
This river here, in the language of the Inval, we call it Kukpak, which means the big river.
flat, it's cold, it's pretty, it's peaceful. One season you're boating it, the next season you're driving your vehicle.
There was always that connection with the people, the way they traveled traditionally. It didn't just happen because of trapping.
Just the whole thing of being able to drive down the Mackenzie River and then head out onto the Arctic Ocean. I mean, there's no place else in the world you can do that.
It's part of the Delta legacy. We're known for it, right? Tourists come up just driving. You know, I look forward to building this ice road every season.
I love that feeling of being in a wild place and being the least important thing there, and yet somehow made larger by that.
Going on the ice road to Inuvik, it was an event because we'd stop halfway and we'd have a picnic. It's just what you did. You would stop and enjoy the journey.
Yeah, she'll totally get caught there. It'll be like, oh, there you go. Hey! Hi.
Roseanne Rose, department. Yeah.
All the way from Vancouver.
Yeah, all the way from Vancouver.
Your video, Chatty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the weather down there?
Oh, it's beautiful, sunny and great. I mean, not inside my house, but outside.
Well, outside it's snowing here, gloomy, slippery.
Yeah, it was nice.
Slippery.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
It was beautiful for a couple of days, and then what happens is we have this phenomenon where the weather warms up and it's like, oh, spring, awesome, and then it gives you this nice melted surface layer that's slippery, then refreezes.
Oh, wow,
dangerous.
wow. Yeah, I'm glad it's actually. I think the weather's probably contributing a lot to everybody feeling good and being all right.
Happening in November, heading into winter. Ooh.
Yeah. No. Well, again, it's still like it's not like what it was in 1918.
Now the Spanish flu, those numbers are mind-boggling. 40 million dead or something like that. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable numbers.
Yeah, and it lasted for all of it. Was it a whole year that it lasted? This whole thing.
And it was in San Francisco or New York where it was just starting to slow down. So like, let's have a parade to celebrate. It's over. And then a second wave.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. I'm wondering, it really is going to be a measured, gradual return, because you can imagine people, not only that, but, like when you send kids to school, for example, after the summer, 2 months, just 2 months away from their friends and all that kind of, they go back to school, and guess what happens in those first months that they're back at school? Everybody gets the flu or a fever or something, right? Because they're all around each other, I don't know, kids are throwing up snot on each other just for fun. So they're it's gonna, I mean, it seems like everybody's doing pretty good, but I guarantee it's gonna be like, okay, we're back. Oh, party.
Yeah, also like how does isolation affect young children? Like I think as adults we're able to rationalize it to a point. Yeah. But like 2, 3, 4 months in your home away from your other friends, it's got to change you when you're 5 years old or 3 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
My first day here, so I was working freelance in Vancouver as an editor. I was working with a lot of Aboriginal producers. One of them was Dennis Allen, who's from here, who was doing a documentary on the Northern Games. He was having a hard time with his system. I got referred to him through somebody else. I went over to his apartment, and his system was just a mess. But we just laughed so hard. He was just so funny. I'm like, hire me again anytime. So a year later, he called. We're updating the facility up here at HD. We need your help. 3 months contract. I'm like, great. I get off the plane. He drives me through town, and I'm like, I'm going to do my time. I'm going to get the F out of here. It was scared. I was scared. But then, within a week, he sent me out on the land with one of his uncle's friends to their camp. And this guy was there with all these elders, and they're eating beluga whale and telling stories. And I'm like, I get it. This is paradise. And it's the people that make a place. The people here are just amazing. Like, there's such beautiful, open hearts and kind and generous. And so that 3 months turned into that was 13 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think that, you get glimpses of it in like what is it? The old CBC show North of 60,
right?
Which was probably shot near Edmonton, but just that's the strong personalities that and kindness and sharing and looking out for one another is what I've experienced all across the North and what makes it so special. Yeah. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, summertime people come up to enjoy the fishing and just going out in the Arctic Ocean. It's a photographer's dream because even now, it's not even getting dark at night. The sun goes down, but it doesn't go down far enough to get dark. So, like about midnight, 1 a.m., it's dusk. And then about 3:30, it starts getting light again. And it's only April, It's so, it's summer, it's full on 24-hour sun, which is just magic. And
How do you sleep at night then?
usually have one room in your house with tinfoil on the window in case you want to black it out. But as a photographer, one of the things I like about, magic hour was when the sun is low on the horizon.
Yeah.
We're so far north that the sun just rides the horizon all day.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like the sun is always at that, shooting straight across magic hour level. It's amazing.
I guess so. I can only imagine the portraits that you would probably take out there.
Magic light
would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It gives me
And
ideas.
then you get to become a Northern Lights snob. It's like, girlfriend will go to the bathroom. She's like, oh, the Northern Lights are out. I'm like, how good are they? It's about a 5. Okay, cool.
Are you serious? Come on.
I'm not even looking out the window.
There's varying degrees of whether it looks good.
Oh,
or not?
yeah. It can be full on a fire above your head, just like unbelievable. And then other times it's just like a little squiggly line.
This is nothing. Wow. Okay. Just for that, I've got to come out. And I just
casual people joke about Northern time, but it's like, if somebody says something's going to start at 7, it might start at 7:30, but nobody cares. Everyone's just sitting around talking anyway. It's just there's a certain casualness that I love.
That's perfect for me because I'm barely on time for anything. Like, it's awful. It's horrible. Sorry about that, everybody who's watching this right now. They're like, yeah, you said you're going to release this video 2 hours ago. Yeah, I'll get to it.
Okay. Yeah, do you feel that pressure? Because there's been a lot of, I don't know, what do you even call, not necessarily even influencers, but people with big YouTube channels lately coming out as like, I just can't do this as often anymore. Like once you get certain popular, people are expecting your video on Tuesday afternoon, like every week or.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, if you can find a rhythm to do it, and it's paying you. Yeah. But I mean, I can see that can be a real stressor, especially if you've got yourself pigeonholed into one sort of subject.
Right.
Right. And I think that's the problem I've had is that, my mind will go to like one thing, and then I want to do something else. Like, so, I'd like to do a tech review on something one day, but the next day I'd love to just like, talk to you, right? Or do something else. So I don't really know what the format needs to be for me to be happy every day.
Yeah.
To get up every morning and not stress out about the day. I will make a trip out there. I don't know how it's all going to happen, but
always welcome.
Somehow I'm going to have to make my way up there.
Love you, Dad.
All right, love you too, man.
Take it easy.
Peace.